Truck Nation, number 14. That was a quick fade. I like that one. I feel like really, really bare right now. I don't have any of the real tech set up. It's interesting. Anyway, like and subscribe. We went on an absolute heater last night. We went 9 for 10. The game was just fucking horseshit. But you and I, were not horseshit. We were the exact opposite of horseshit.
Well, I was 4 for 4 in my singles.
Yeah. I had a parlay there that had to have Chris Boswell just kick one more field goal. Oh. And the fact that they were in the red zone 3 times. 3 times.
So I need to bitch about this game for a second.
Go
because
for it. Fire away.
This really, really pissed me off. So Steelers, they got Mitch Trubisky. He's been playing like shit all night. They somehow get down the field. I can't even remember. I think the first one was a blocked punt that put them in range, or it might have been.
Yep.
No, actually, maybe the first was an interception or something like that. They get down. They go for it on 4th down. They don't get it. They get bailed out by the block punt. So they're back in the red zone again. They got another chance to kick a field goal. They score a touchdown. Now, look, the touchdown was kind of key for us to get another field goal, because if they get another field goal, they tie the game up, and then they can go to overtime. So that would have been really, really good. So the touchdown was okay, even though we would have preferred the field goal to make the money and for our bets to hit. Then there's like 2 minutes and 6 seconds to go, and they've got 2 attempts to get 2 yards. The first one, it's just a bust coverage, blown coverage. They don't get it. And then on 4th down, they need 2 yards to get first down, or they need 10 yards to get into field goal range. So they're at the 50. And they decide to launch with Mitch Trubisky, who's been
40-yard bomb.
I can't emphasize this enough. Has been playing like absolute trash all night. They go for the 40-yard bomb downfield. They don't get it. Believe it or not, they don't get it. They lose the game.
Believe it or not, John.
And both of us, we were like, we had every other leg covered. If we'd combined our tickets, we would have gone 9 for 10. We both lost.
John, that was a $4,600 parlay.
Yeah.
That would have won with Boswell kicking a field goal.
Yeah.
$4,600. The play calling was atrocious.
It was awful.
These Monday night and Thursday night games, there's something in the water this year. Yeah. Everyone feels the same way. There's something going on. There has to be. These games have been the worst display of refereeing, worst display of play calling for every team that manages to step in the ring on a Monday or Thursday. I'm not blowing a whistle on a conspiracy or anything. It's just, I don't know if it has something to do with like the short week, or like maybe teams overlook this week, when they're playing on Monday or Thursday. Maybe they're just mentally focused on for the next one. Or maybe it's just like a stomping ground to just try a bunch of bullshit that you normally wouldn't do. Why don't we just do it on live television with millions of people watching? Like, I just don't understand. Kick the fucking field goal.
Yeah, I know.
You got Chris Boswell.
I know.
You needed the points.
Yeah.
I was in intermission with my hockey team. The Zamboni was on. We were all in the dressing room, and my whole team was riding. Dude, I was salsa dancing.
The messages we were getting on flooding us on Instagram.
Buddy, I was salsa dancing in my hockey equipment and this is no joke. In the dressing room when they hit 4th down and 2.
Yeah.
Because all we needed was that field goal. And it was like, you send me a text, you're like, Mike Tomlin's weak. They're going for the points. And I'm like,
just a chip shot.
It's just a chip. You need the field goal. You needed a field goal.
Attempt, yeah.
You needed one.
Take the points.
Take the points.
What I will say, though, is 46-18 is my Thursday night record. I'm at 73%.
That's nuts, man.
Nuts. It is nuts. This is why I've started hammering.
We went 90% yesterday. That's so nuts, man.
Okay, we went 90%. All right.
John, let's get into this week.
Got some good ones this week, I feel.
But like how ugly that Mitch Trubisky game was, there's going to be some really, really ugly ones on the slate.
Have you seen it?
Oh, dude, it's disgusting.
Can I describe some of them to you?
Yeah, go for it. Fire away.
So I'm not sure about the status of Trevor Lawrence. I don't think he plays, but if he doesn't, it's going to be CJ Beathard versus Joe Flacco in Cleveland. It's going to be Gardner Minshew and Jake Browning in Cincinnati. What are some other good ones we got here? In Carolina, it's going to be Bryce Young and possibly Jameis Winston. Minnesota's going to be Josh Dobbs and Aiden O'Connell.
That's actually not a bad game, though.
Yeah, I mean, like they're in a vacuum. They're all not bad games. But like, it is the year of the backup quarterback, I feel.
Hey, look, don't be worried about Jake Browning. He just showed the entire world that kid could ball.
And you cashed in on.
Yeah, I did.
You sold high. I'm proud of you, man.
Yeah, thanks, man. No, old Jay would have just hung on to him, and been like, I got a diamond in the rough.
Yes, you've learned. That's good.
Yeah, I'm just give me 2 third-round picks. Thank you.
Error of your ways. Yeah, good.
See you later.
Yeah.
And then I flipped that 1 3rd round and moved up into second. Got my original third back, which is like I'm dead last in this league. So
yeah,
it was basically a second round. I got 2 seconds basically for flipping that third.
Now, no one who's listening to this cares, but if you score 40 more points than Brandon in our Dynasty League, I get the first pick. So that's what I'm really going for. I wish you still had Jake Browning on your team.
Well, let's just really hope for Kyle Juszczyk to get 2 touchdowns.
Oh my God. I'm not talking about that game against Seattle. I hear Drew Lock might actually be suiting up for us as well. Word on the street.
First game, John. You pick it.
Yep.
Take.
Thank you. I want to start off with one of the premier games of the week in the early window, the early slate. I'm taking a look at the Rams, who are traveling to Baltimore to play. The Ravens. This is going to be a interesting game. It's going to be 2 fairly good teams.
Ravens favored by over a touchdown, which makes no fucking sense to me.
Well, it doesn't when you factor in some of these props of super low. And the reason they're super low is because of the weather. There's going to be a bit of rain on the East Coast on Sunday, I'm looking at. It's not going to affect a lot of games, though. It will affect New York, so the Jets and Houston game, and it'll affect the Rams and Baltimore game. But Chicago and Detroit will be free of it, as will Cleveland. It's not going to reach Cincinnati, but I am targeting this game. But here's my thing is I don't think it's going to be like monsoonal rain. There'll be a lot of it, but not enough to deter me from it. And the first one that I'm looking at, I've seen a line here of 195 passing yards for Lamar Jackson, which I understand he has not been passing too much of late. But his lines have been sitting around 220, 240, but he's been about 50-50.
So what do you feel?
What was that?
So what do you feel?
So here's my thing is I'm having a look on the other side of the ball with the Rams, and this is why I like this. Let me
I don't know what you're gonna choose here, but I think I know you, and I think I know you really you got a hard on for Kyron right now.
No. This is what I'm going with. So actually that's a good point. I've got 2 stacks to start us off with, but I'll start with my first stack, which is Lamar Jackson over 195 passing yards. I'm not scared of the rain, and I'm looking at the Rams defense here, and they have not been good against opposing quarterbacks. The only quarterback they were able to stop was Geno, and they managed to sweep Seattle for whatever reason this season.
Your boy.
Geno needed to get 261 passing yards in that game, so it's no wonder he didn't get it when he hasn't been playing that well, whereas other quarterbacks have got it. Even we saw Joe Flacco just looking like vintage
Joe
Flacco. Joe Flacco last week against the Rams. Dak destroyed them. I think that was Kenny Pickett. Potentially might have beaten them. I can't actually remember now. But they've been giving it up to the receiver too. So my stack is 195 passing yards for Lamar Jackson. You can stack that with Odell Beckham, the receiver 2, potentially for the Ravens, if you're considering Zay Flowers, the receiver 1.
A little revenge game for OBJ?
Yep, a little bit of feeling in it. I think they actually asked him about it as well, what it'd be like to play against the Rams again. He's fired up for it. He's been fairly good as far as receiving yards go, so he's been able to actually catch the ball and take it to the house sometimes in recent memory. So I don't mind this one. So 195 yards. I think you can, I really want to take advantage of this discount that you're getting on Lamar Jackson just because of the rain. 34 receiving yards for Odell Beckham is what I found
sounds
on.
Like a steal.
It looks good. I'm just trying to see. So I've been checking my local sports books now to see where I can get the best deals in town. PointsBet, you can get Lamar Jackson over 195 passing yards. SportsBet, you can get 197. And then Beckham, 34 on SportsBet as well. So, there could be something in it.
Could be. That sounds good. I honestly, both sides of the ball, I think that game is going to be a fun game to watch. I don't know why it's so low. Like they have it the over-under at 39.5. And
is that what it is?
Yeah, and the Ravens are favored by 8.
Like, is the weather going to be that bad?
But how are the Ravens favored by 8 if it's going to be a slog? Like, that's the thing that I don't understand. Like, this line makes no sense to me. It makes me want to stay away from it, but I do like Odell in this game.
Yeah, you can also get Keaton Mitchell at 34 rushing yards as well.
So that, to be honest with you, that would be the play that I would do. Actually, I would take Keaton Mitchell on his longest rush, which I don't know what it is, but I have a feeling it's going to be like 12 and a half. So I'm going to go over there right now because that he's the guy that I'm targeting, or even in the passing game. So
longest rush. So Kyron is 15 yards. Keaton is 14 yards.
14 seems a little steep for me. So here's what I will do. I'm going to go with Keaton Mitchell, but I'm going to go on the receiving side. And
I was going to say, I wonder what the longest reception is there for him.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to look at right now.
I just had it up. Where did you go?
He doesn't have a line right now on action. He doesn't have a line for receiving yards either, but it's safe to say that he's going to be somewhere around 14 yards receiving.
For total?
For total receiving.
Yeah, he'll be at about 10 even.
You think so?
Oh, yeah, I reckon between 10 and 15.
Yeah, 10 and 15. I'm comfortable taking all the way up to the 14 and a half.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna lock that one in. Boom, pick number 1, Keaton Mitchell. Play it all the way up to 14 over on his receiving yards. Let's go.
Nice one. Yeah, that should be a good one. Again, like you point out, I don't know why the over-under, the team total is so low.
Makes no sense.
Yeah.
Makes no sense.
So just quickly, the other stack that I wanted to bring up was this Detroit Lions going to Chicago game. Justin Fields, I got him at 193 passing yards.
That scares me a little bit.
It does, because while he has been able to get that generally most of the time this year, in fact, he's only gone under his passing yards line twice this season. Well, 3 times if you include the time he got injured. Mm-hmm. But one of those times was against that Kansas City game. It was terrible. I kind of tend to throw it out myself. But then the one other time was the other week when they played Detroit at Detroit, and they were up by like 2 touchdowns with like 4 minutes to go, and then Detroit miraculously won the game. So I am not scared, though. This is going to be in Chicago this time around. DJ Moore has been absolutely on fire. If you want to stack Justin Fields with DJ Moore, he's getting 70 yards now. So the bookies have caught up, gone to the days of 45 receiving yards or 50 receiving yards for the longest time. That was nice. 3.5 receptions was nice as well. It's now up to 4.5 or 70. Actually, I think it's now up to 5.5 even. So there could be something there. And Cole Kmet's been playing really, really well as well. Detroit have really dropped off as far as their defensive backs go. Their corners have not been as good in recent memory. So basically since week 8. So yeah, there could be something there as well, I feel. Yeah. Maybe you'd probably rather lean DJ Moore. So that was just a quick stack that I was looking at there.
How do you feel about the running backs in that game?
Oh, well, actually, this ties in nicely to my running back prop, which I got Jahmyr Gibbs at 38 rushing yards.
That's insane.
I think that is an insane number. I think I got that on Sportsbet as well.
Okay, add it to my card. Let's go. I'm following you. Choo choo, baby.
Yeah, let's make this a decent follow. I just want to bring up what Jahmyr Gibbs has done this season. So he got exactly 37 rushing yards in week 11 and exactly 40 in week 4. But outside of those, he's basically gone over his rushing props consistently I should change this to 38 for almost every single game. So
everyone has the association that he is the pass catching back, right? But it's a double-headed monster.
Right. You could take scrimmage if you want. I don't mind that. I just think that the number's a bit high. I think I saw it.
What, 70, 80?
Yeah, let me have a quick look here. I didn't note it down. No, his receiving was I think it's somewhere around like 30 yards, which I think is just a bit too high for me.
That's too high.
Yeah.
I like it, but it's not. Don't get me wrong. Like, I won't be surprised if he hits 33 yards, 35 yards receiving. Wouldn't be surprised at all.
Yeah.
However, I think the rushing side of this, I think they're going to wear. It's a divisional game. This is how it goes.
Right.
This is how it goes.
It's going to be 0 degrees as well.
Yeah, you beat the shit out of each other on the ground.
Yeah.
And that's what's going to happen. So give me Jahmyr Gibbs. What was the 38 you found it for?
I found 38. Most of them were sort of like 40 to 45. I did find a 38, though.
I'm taking it at 38. If I could find anything in between 38 and 42, I'm taking Jahmyr Gibbs over rushing between 38 and 42. If I find a nice juicy line at like 41 or 42 where it's encroaching on plus money, let's go.
Up to 45 yards in some areas. So
you can buy it down.
I'm really happy with that one. They've been using. Sorry,
you can buy it down. Like if you want, move the alt line. I would feel so good at 38.
Just shop around, just check your books, see, because some of these are just all over the shop. It's
they'll tighten up as they'll tighten up closer to Sunday.
Yeah, one of my other props I was looking at was Gardner Minshew against the Bengals, who have really struggled to stop passing quarterbacks. You can get him as low as 225 yards or as high as 240, depending on which side you play.
So I want your audio bite right now of that pick that you not Gardner of Jahmyr.
Oh, okay. I thought you wanted Gardner.
No, I don't want that. Get out of here.
What is this? So Jahmyr Gibbs over 38.5 rushing yards against the Bears.
Divisional. Book it.
Boop.
Love it. Perfect. Okay, so let's go over to that Indianapolis game.
Let's go. It looks pretty juicy to me.
Oh, yeah, I don't like Gardner in that game. But
no, that's fine.
But I do really think that he's developed such a chemistry with Alec Pierce. Those go routes, it's almost Jamar Chase-esque. Like what Alec Pierce is doing, he's scorching defenders.
Great game last week.
His receiving number is 26.5 this game.
Yeah.
And his longest reception is 16.5, which means that they think he's only going to catch 2 balls.
Yeah.
I don't even care. He's going to catch 1. He's going to scorch someone. I'm a big Bengals fan, and I'm telling you right now, they're going to get scorched. That kid, he looks so good. So there's like this part of my heart that I got 2 plays in this game. I like a play on Cincinnati, but Alec Pierce, he's not the guy who I believe in on that team. Like I think Josh Downs is the he's the better receiver, and Pittman but
Pittman's playing.
They're going to shut down
insane football this year. He's a top 5 receiver.
He is. Yeah, he is. He's bananas. But
with Gardner Minshew.
Hey, if I know the Bengals, I know what they're going to do is they're going to fade one safety towards Pittman at all times.
Yeah.
They're going to do their best to kind of try and contain him on an area on the field, which with you got a guy that's man to man like Alec Pierce and what he's doing to defenders, he blew through double coverage last week.
Last week was a huge game.
That was insane.
Yeah.
I'm not one to chase the points, but what I do think, there's those set plays that are designed for him to just run up the middle of the field just like a maniac, and they're gonna hit on one of those. They're gonna have to. So I'll let you choose here for me. Between the 26.5 or the over longest reception of 16.5, both of them feel so good to me. But I want to take both. Give me your stats, and then we'll just take this on a completely stats driven. Those are my gut. My gut says take both, but what will stats tell you here?
Yeah, so Bengals have really struggled this season, like I was saying, against opposing quarterbacks as far as passing goes. Josh Allen couldn't get over his 260, which is a high number. And then the other one was Josh Dobbs in week 5. But other than that, I mean, most quarterbacks have smashed against them. The receiver twos have had a lot of success over the last 5 weeks, even 7-8 before the bye as well, outside of the San Francisco game. So my only question here, I think, look, Michael Pittman is elite. I think he's going to have a good game anyway. It just depends on how Josh Downs goes in this spot as well against this Bengals secondary. I prefer the catch that you're talking about, the longest reception.
Let's do it. John, I prefer it too. Let's go. Alec Pierce, over longest reception, 16.5. Lock this in, throw it in the back seat of the bus, and we're going to take this bus to the moon.
Cha-ching. Yeah, just because, I mean, he hasn't been a high volume receiver. He's really relied on those deep bombs. So that's where I feel like this is going. And the Bengals have struggled to stop at that kind of play. So
let's go.
Yeah.
I love it.
I mean, Trevor Lawrence got a whole bunch of them last week. There's just most of them will call back on a penalty, like either a holding penalty at the line of scrimmage or
this game's not going to be scrutinized as much, and there's not going to be as much at stake. Those flags will stay in the pocket. That's a typical Monday night or Thursday night or Sunday night thing, you know?
Perfect.
I love it. You like it?
Love it. Couple more I want to give out here.
I'm not done with that game. I'm not done with that game.
Oh, okay, cool. I was going to say because I am. So let's stay on it. Give me another one.
There are two plays that I like on the Cincinnati side, but once again this is a little bit of a toss up for me. It's in the receiving game, Joe Mixon or Tanner Hudson, and both of them are sitting around 22, 23 yards.
You've just picked out the two best bets in this game, I think.
Yeah, I think so. You know what? I think just to be safe, though, because a lot of the tight ends have been getting some action for Cincinnati. Now, Browning does seem to have a good look at Tanner Hudson. But then there were times where they came out with two set tight ends, and it was Drew Sample that was getting the looks, you know? So Joe Mixon's
I wouldn't worry about Drew
safe
Sample.
for the dumps. No, I know. There's not much to worry about. It's just those targets are few and far between for the tight ends, right? Like, so, if I think Tanner Hudson's going to catch 2 footballs in that game.
Yep.
Do I see one of them going 20 yards itself? Yeah, I do. But I think to be safe, I'm going to go Joe Mixon over 21.5 receiving yards.
Okay.
That's it.
I personally actually prefer Tanner Hudson to catch 3 receptions.
Oh, that's a teetering thing for me.
He's been doing it. He's been doing it every week for the last 5 weeks. He's been the guy. I feel like
I'm telling you, my gut actually tells me that Tanner Hudson is the play here, but I feel like Joe Mixon's the safer. Fuck it. Fuck the safer play. Tanner Hudson. Let's go.
5 straight weeks of at least 3 receptions.
I'm going to 23.5 yards. Tanner Hudson. Let's go.
See, and what I also really like about this, so we haven't seen Shaq Leonard play on the Colts pretty much all season, I don't think, and he's gone now. He's in Philly. What I wanted to bring up was these tight ends have had a lot of success against Indy. Now, at the same time, Joe Mixon was a great pick as well. They have been able to stop a couple of pass catches, but as far as rushing or even total scrimmage yards goes, a lot of running backs have had success against the Colts. But I really love this man.
We're going Tanner Hudson. Tanner Hudson.
I'm looking at the receptions. I'm even the yards would be fine. Okay, so Hunter Henry didn't get to his 30-yard prop. We all know what's going on in New England. Other than that, I mean, tight ends have just been feasting on the Colts here, and Tanner Hudson has just emerged. And I don't think I think this is one of those players who people are not aware yet, that they haven't caught up to him yet.
You know that I know.
Well, I'm wondering after their last primetime game, so Monday Night Football, I'm wondering if that was his sort of coming out party. And
I don't think it's there yet. That coming out party is going to be a George Kittle game. It's going to be 85 yards one of these days.
Yeah.
And it's not. I don't think it's going to be this game. Don't get me wrong.
Man, when I talk you out of bets and into other bets, it always makes me so nervous. I'm don't listen to me. I don't know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, no. But I was already feeling it.
Yeah.
I was already feeling it. All you did was you just I had a pendulum that was going back and forth like this, and you grabbed the pendulum and you went, "No, it's coming over here, buddy."
Yeah. Man, I got to say, Tanner Hudson, he's becoming a weekly start at tight end.
It's cheeky. I love it. Okay, so that's good in that game. So I got Alec Pierce over 16.5 longest reception, and I have Tanner Hudson over 23.5 yards receiving.
Love it. I'm just trying to find the lines myself. I want to have a quick look at what he's getting as far as receptions go.
It's 3.
Longest reception is 12.5 if you want.
It seems, I know. I looked at that too, and I was like, I think he's going to catch a 20-yarder.
Where are these total receptions at? This is great content. Here we are. 2.5. Come on, man. Easy.
Are you taking it?
What is that?
Take it. If you feel so strongly about it, take it. Okay. Good.
I will.
Let's go. I will. Don't you fucking tell me what to do.
Oh, it's already been taken. All right.
Okay.
Some other lines that I was looking at as far as running backs go. Alvin Kamara, I mean, like, how can you possibly doubt the man? Like, he's just destroying everyone. I've got him at 34.5 receiving yards.
With Jameis, the one thing you got to know about Jameis is he's wily. He's a cowboy. He's a from the hip shooter. Drop back, send it up. You see some of those throws he threw last week? They were just like, a couple of them went in his favor, but my God, this guy just throws him up there. Put it up, Jameis.
But it might actually still be Derek Carr. I think apparently there's a chance that Derek Carr might play. I know it sounds insane. But if you actually have a look at the report, there's a chance that Derek Carr plays. I need to show you this. Look at the screen. Watch this. This is Alvin Kamara.
Oh my God, look at all the green.
Look at all the green. He had 2 bad weeks of rushing, but even in those games where he wasn't rushing, he was still smashing the receiving yards. He is the safest bet. Him and Christian McCaffrey are basically the safest bets in sports betting props as it stands right now. Another one that I want to talk about was Rashad White, who's a fairly safe bet. I mean, Christian McCaffrey, he's going to destroy my Seattle Seahawks.
He will, yeah.
I've got Christian McCaffrey over 114.5 for scrimmage yards, and I'm not scared. I'm not scared.
You're not scared about it. Yeah, you're nuts for going for those plays. I just can't bring myself to do it.
I mean, they're stars for a reason.
Yeah, I get it. You know what? I'm not scared. If Jameis Winston plays, I'm telling you, I know I just keep going back to A.T. Perry, but the longest reception. No. I'm not doing it. But like, I'm not scared of it.
Do it if you want. This would be 3 weeks in a row now where I'm like,
I'm not doing it because it's been 3 weeks in a row. But he puts him up there, and AT's so tall.
Yeah,
he's so tall. All he's got to do is high point, one big bad boy down the field. He's gonna do it. And it's like, so there's that part of me that's like, I know he's gonna do it. So why don't I just take it? But I'm not gonna do it for the show's content sake. But I hope you all know that I will have a bet on A.T. Perry.
That's fine. You can have a bet and not recommend it.
I'm not recommending it. But I will have it. So just know that. If you see A.T. Perry catch a really long one, you know that I just made money.
Yeah, I would just rather go Chris Olave, who's just been an absolute smash as far as receptions go. Every week since week 6, he's hit over his receiving prop line.
That receiving core is going to be just nasty next year. Once Perry develops. I don't think people really understand how good A.T. Perry actually is. When you watch his film,
yeah,
he is electric. He reminds me of DK Metcalf.
Oh, what I did want to mention about that though is the Carolina Panthers are who they play. Mm-hmm. Carolina Panthers have done a really, really good job at shutting down like basically every receiver 2 option. Tight ends have had a really tough run. All quarterbacks except for, we've said this in the past, except for Geno Smith, which was against Andy Dalton in week 3, have all gone onto their props. So Baker, maybe a lot of money last week because he's been doing so well going over his props. And then it was a Baker under week against the Panthers. 220 got there. So you feel and that was with that 75-yard bomb to Mike Evans, which just gave me a heart attack.
That text that you sent me, you were like, this is going to be a long game, man. Jesus. Yeah, it's going to be a long game. Okay, so are you taking under on Jameis then?
I would. As nuts as that sounds. I would. I think it's going to be a slog. Bryce Young's not been playing well. I think the Panthers defense will probably be. Look, I'm not going to bet it though. It's not part of on my card.
Right. Okay. You pick one more game.
So the last one I'm looking at is this Falcons game, and they're playing the Bucks.
You like
sorry,
you like Rashad or you like Bijan?
I've got a couple that I like in this game. So one is Rashad White over his receiving props. And I like that because only James Conner in week 10 has not been able to go over his receiving props against the Falcons since week 4. So that's 10 straight weeks. Mm-hmm. Sorry, there is a bye week in there. That's 9 of 10 weeks where all running backs have reached their receiving prop line. Rashad White is one of the best pass catching running backs in the game at the moment. He's like top 5 in scrimmage yards, I think I've seen at the running back position.
Yeah.
Or maybe it was like top 7 or something like that.
Yeah, he's up there. He's in top 10.
He's playing phenomenal. And then the other one that I really like is Cade Otton. Cade Otton, who returned last week and had a bit of a down game again against the Panthers. He's in an awesome spot this week against the Falcons, who have not been able to stop. They've stopped one tight end. It was Logan Thomas, week 6. And week 2 against Green Bay. That's been it for the entire season. All other tight ends have gone over their receptions prop lines.
So what do you like, the 3 catches?
Yeah, so I think you can get Cade Otton at 2.5 catches at the moment. And I just think that is such a nice line. I'm just having a look. Yeah, or you can get 23 receiving yards as well.
That feels pretty good.
It's not bad. Bijan rushing, you can get him as low as 67 at the moment.
That's still too high.
I don't know if I like that. You can get Bucks have actually been pretty good at stopping pass catching running back, so you can get him at 25 receiving yards.
Feels too high. If that was down at like
20,
20,
bet the under 20, on that.
20,
I'm saying.
Oh, to get the under, yeah,
Would
be all right.
I found Rashad White though 22 receiving yards on Bet365.
Yeah, that feels like a steal.
Yeah, that is a steal because like Rashad White
catches, 4 catches for 29, 30 yards. That's what's going to be up.
Yeah.
So
Rashad White, last 2 weeks, he's had down games in the receiving area. He still did have 3 catches last week. But then between week 7 and week 11, he was over 25 receiving yards every single week. I think they get back there.
I agree with
you. Just
been
some tough matchups.
I'm not taking it, but I agree with you.
You're not taking Rashad White?
I think I already have enough picks. I think I'm done.
That's fair enough. I've given out a whole bunch of I call them ideas. I'm giving out ideas. I'm not necessarily taking them, although there are some that I've already taken. I'm really into this Lamar Jackson over 195 passing yards.
Yeah.
I'm into am I into Justin Fields? Actually, one thing I will say about Justin Fields is you can get over 26 passing attempts. The other week against Detroit, he had over 26 completions. So, I mean, you can get a massive discount at the moment on passing attempts with Justin Fields.
Attempts. So I think they're just going to run the ball a crap ton. Yeah.
Basically.
Divisional.
All right. Are there any other lines that you like? I'm just having a quick look.
No, I'm down for a recap.
Yeah, let's get into the recap then.
So you want to lay out your like 4-play card here?
Yes. Okay, so my card, so it's going to look like this. It's going to look like Lamar Jackson over 195 passing yards, Jahmyr Gibbs over 38 rushing yards. It's Alvin Kamara or Rashad White. I'll go Rashad White over 22.5 receiving yards. The other one I like, Odell Beckham over 34.5 receiving yards. I really like that. And then Cade Otton over 23.5 receiving yards as well. I really like.
I like this card for you. This is not a.
So do I.
This is not a normal John card.
Yeah, but it's because I've gone through each book now and seen like what value can I get for each one, and I'm like, oh, gee, there's a lot of value here.
Yeah, and that's a difference of if you got $100 on the line, and then you get an additional, minus 10. You're gonna on each pick. You're gonna that adds up, man. That really adds up.
Yeah.
Anyway,
hit me with your card. What do you got?
Yeah, so I got Keaton Mitchell. I'm gonna play that all the way up to 14 receiving yards.
Love it.
Then the second stop we made over to where did we go? We went to
we talked to Indy.
Detroit. So we went to Detroit and taking Jahmyr Gibbs. Playable up to 40. I'm gonna try and find something in between 38 and 40, even if I take the punch down. I'll take that. Over in Cincinnati against Indianapolis, I'm going to take Alec Pierce over the longest reception of 16.5, and I'm going to take Tanner Hudson over receiving yards 23.5. If I can find that down to like at 21.5, I'm taking that.
Yeah. I love this ticket, man. I got a good feeling about it.
Yeah, I got riding it. That's juicy.
It's juicy. This is how you know it's going to be a flaming disaster.
Yeah, Keaton Mitchell's going to get injured in 4 seconds.
Yeah, of course.
You know,
That's true. No unders anyway. That's how you know we fucked up.
yeah, that's how you know we fucked up. All right, buddy, that's great.
Let's do it.
Yeah, let's go. Week 14. Like and subscribe if you want to make some money this week. Hang out with us. Let's go.
Catch us on Thursday night as well. The preview.
We were 90% on Monday
Enjoy
night.
Sunday, everybody.
Enjoy Sunday. Have a good one.